Hundreds of daily searches, in private groups, and those late-night messages, all revolve around one familiar question. What really happens to the prostate if you masturbate every day? This is no longer a joke or some outdated myth. There's just too much conflicting information out there. Unverified warnings flood social media, ranging from causes chronic inflammation to increases cancer risk. The problem is, no one is pointing out what's actually true. Recently, a major study from a prestigious university tackled this question head-on, and the results might surprise you. Not only does it debunk a lot of the old misconceptions, it also offers a new way of looking at sexual health in adulthood. Are you ready to hear the truth? Stick with me, because this is something you won't want to miss. To fully understand this shocking reality, we first need to get familiar with the main player here, the prostate. So, what is it really? The prostate, a name that sounds medical. But in truth, it's the silent gatekeeper of a man's reproductive health. It's about the size of a walnut. Yet it plays a critically important role, producing the fluid that protects sperm, supporting sexual function, and significantly affecting your quality of life once you hit your 50s. The problem is, it's also the source of the most confusion for men. So many rumors have circled around it. Claims that masturbating every day will overwork the prostate, cause inflammation, or lead to cancer. And when fear gets passed around without being fact-checked, it turns into real anxiety. That quiet worry about something men should understand, but are instead expected to keep hidden. But not long ago, a research team at one of the most prestigious universities in the world, Harvard University, did something few dared to do. They tested those rumors with real science. They followed thousands of men over many years, collecting honest data and analyzing every possible connection between masturbation and the prostate. And this wasn't a small study. It tracked nearly 32,000 men for almost 20 years, carefully documenting their lifestyle habits and health status. This wasn't a rushed survey. It was a serious scientific effort to clarify the relationship between ejaculation frequency and the risk of prostate cancer. And the result was truly unbelievable to many. Men who ejaculated more frequently actually had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. Specifically, those who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had up to a 33% lower risk compared to those who did so only 4 to 7 times a month. This conclusion was repeated for emphasis, because it completely goes against the deeply rooted fears that millions of men have carried for decades, that masturbation is harmful, draining, or inflammatory. The truth is, far from being harmful. This act is now seen as a natural mechanism to keep the prostate healthy. Scientists proposed 3 clear theories to explain this. First, the natural cleansing mechanism. Regular ejaculation helps flush out old secretions and dead cells, preventing buildup and reducing the risk of inflammation or infection. Second is the healthy cell turnover. The process of ejaculation may help stimulate the regeneration of new cells, replacing older ones that may be more vulnerable to damage. And third is the reduction of stress and inflammation. Masturbation has been linked to lower stress levels, and stress is a major contributor to chronic inflammation, which can negatively impact the prostate. However, let's be clear, this is not a magic bullet to prevent cancer. The study shows a strong correlation, not a confirmed direct cause. Men who ejaculated frequently might also have healthier overall lifestyles, balanced diets, regular exercise, fewer cigarettes, and routine medical checkups. More important than anything else, is to view masturbation as a normal, natural, and even positive part of maintaining health in older age, as long as it's not excessive, and not wrapped in guilt or shame. The bigger picture of prostate health also includes eating plenty of vegetables and fruits, lycopene from tomatoes, omega-3s from fish, regular exercise to maintain a healthy weight, routine PSA screenings, especially if you're over 50 or have a family history. In short, the surprising truth, backed by Harvard research, is that masturbation, when done mindfully, can be one of the simplest and most natural ways to support prostate health. It's not an enemy, but a quiet ally on your journey to living healthier, freer, and more in tune with yourself in older age. Over the years working with older adults, I've met hundreds of patients seeking help for prostate health issues, from enlargement, difficulty urinating, to the quiet anxiety that comes from unspoken worries. But I always remember Mr. Robert, a 75-year-old man with kind eyes and a calm, steady voice. That day, after I finished his routine checkup, Robert hesitated for a moment. He looked at me, as if weighing something deeply personal, then gently said, almost in a whisper, "Doctor, I masturbate almost every day. Am I harming myself?" I wasn't surprised. In fact, I felt grateful, not because of the content of his question, but because I got to witness someone being honest with himself. At that age, not everyone has the courage to speak aloud something they've kept hidden for so long. He may have carried that question for decades, unsure who to ask, afraid to bring it up. But that day, he chose to share it, and I knew I needed to listen with full respect and understanding. I looked at him and smiled. There's nothing harmful about it, and nothing strange either. Sir, human beings, young or old, male or female, we all have our own needs. We all need release, happiness. Growing old doesn't mean we run out of emotions or the desire for intimacy. In fact, as the body begins to slow down, the inner feelings need to be cared for even more gently. I told him, masturbation isn't wrong. It's a natural part of learning to be at home in your own body. Not everyone still has a partner, but the need for connection, affection, and release remains just the same. Of course, I also talked to him about balance. That anything, even something healthy, if done excessively or out of compulsion, can disconnect us from real life. But if masturbation helps him feel lighter, sleep better, ease stress, and stay in touch with himself, then that's more than okay. At the end of the appointment, he shook my hand. He didn't say anything more, but I could feel something in him had softened. Maybe it wasn't just about easing a worry, but the feeling of being understood, accepted, and given permission to reconnect with his own body, in a natural, deeply human way. I completely agree that satisfying yourself through masturbation is not wrong, especially when it brings relaxation, comfort, emotional release, and helps maintain a connection with your own body. But at the same time, I told him, and now I want to share this with those of you watching this video, that every healthy behavior still needs balance. Because only when we understand our body's limits can we truly care for it wisely and with love. Balance and awareness, and truly listening to your body. The first thing to understand is, not every day is the same. And your body today is not the same as it was 10 years ago. Masturbation, just like eating, sleeping, or exercising, should be done when your body genuinely needs it. Not out of boredom, not out of habit, and not just to fill some vague emptiness. Ask yourself, am I doing this today because I truly want to, or am I just trying to cover up my loneliness? After each time, does my body feel relaxed, or do I feel drained, tired, or even a bit ashamed? Am I still engaging in other aspects of life, or am I stuck in this private space and this one habit? Your answers will help you recognize when masturbation is healthy, and when it might be time to pause. To truly listen to yourself. And alongside that, we can't ignore the warning signs that call for caution. Another equally important point is learning to listen to the signals from your body. There are times when masturbation, if repeated too often, done at the wrong time, or during periods of poor health, can actually make things worse. Please take note if you experience frequent urination, burning, pain during urination, or a heavy, pressured feeling in the prostate area, feel swelling, dull aches in the lower abdomen, or unexplained lower back pain, have trouble sleeping after masturbating, or feel drained instead of relaxed. These signs don't necessarily mean you're doing something wrong, but they're your body's way of saying, pause for a moment. Take better care, and maybe get checked. Masturbation itself isn't harmful, but if done while your body is inflamed, weakened, or facing prostate issues, it can make symptoms worse. In those cases, the best thing isn't to try and push through, but to step back and listen. And remember, masturbation isn't everything. There are many other ways to feel joy, peace, and connection. Quote, at this age, many of you may have lost your life partner, or no longer have the same kind of intimate relationship as before. And because of that, masturbation sometimes becomes the only companion during those long nights. I completely understand, but let me gently remind you, it's only one part, not the whole picture. There are so many other things that can nourish your emotions, ease loneliness, and keep your body healthier. A 10-minute walk each morning, letting the sunlight warm your body and your soul, joining a knitting class, tending to plants, or simply cooking a good meal just for yourself. Writing a few lines in a journal every night about one thing you're grateful for that day. Talking to friends, or even opening up to someone new. And if your heart is still open, falling in love at this age is never too late. So, we've talked about that, about the prostate, about masturbation, and all the deeply personal things many men have kept to themselves for years. And now, I just want to say this. As someone who has examined hundreds of men from their 60s to their 80s. If he still stirs down there, be glad. That's a sign of life, of instinct, of something in men that never truly dies, even when the hair turns gray. The teeth fall out, the back bends. No one has the right to make you feel ashamed for your desire. Pleasure is not a sin. Masturbation is not a vice. But don't turn it into a crutch you lean on for life. That thing down there, it should serve the mind up here. It's your companion, not your master. It reminds you you're still a man, but it doesn't define your worth as one. If today you feel like you need it, go ahead. But if you're tired, in pain, or something just feels off, stop. Don't force it. Your guy down there gets tired, too. He feels pain. He needs rest. And remember, a man's life isn't just between his legs. It's in his strong back, his proud chest, his clear mind, and a heart that still knows how to feel. Go outside, move your body a little, call a friend, cook yourself your favorite meal, or even fall in love again. Because being a man doesn't end just because you've grown old. If this video touched something you've thought about, worried over, or kept hidden, leave a comment. It doesn't have to be long. Even just one sentence, "I get it now," is enough to remind other men out there that they're not alone. And if you think we need more honest conversations like this, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a brother who might need to hear it too. Thank you, truly. Quote.